anything like that. It means that you need to, if you want to aura max and attract even more women and just think more magnetism to your life, that's where that semen retention thing comes into play. I learned that the hard way. That's real. Okay. You won't perform at your maximum capacity in life if you're constantly draining your aura. Okay, which is your seminal fluid, your semen. Okay, that's a part of like your bloodline. That's why even in the Bible it says, "Don't waste thy seed." People don't know what that means. That's they're talking about. It's just talking about not just masturbation. It's also talking about don't waste thy seed, even with random 304s and stuff like that. You got to preserve. You got to practice preservation, self-preservation. That's why Yahushua, right here, Yahushua, the Black Messiah, the real one, who I drew a sculpture of. He was notoriously basically monk mode. They didn't call it that back then, but if you think about it, he wasn't no player or nothing like that. He didn't even really do relationships like that. But a lot of women were like Mary Magdalene and different people. Some 304s and stuff were obsessed with him though, right? His aura was just perfect and powerful, right? So the point that I'm making to y'all is this: a lot of you will face dark, deep depression chasing that whole player fantasy. So I hate to rain on your parade and burst your little bubbles with that. And when I say y'all, I'm not really talking about my people. I'm talking about the general man in society that doesn't understand this. I know my people, my deacon board already know all of this, or you know pieces of it, right? Because you never want to be a know-it-all, but I know all of what I'm saying about things, right? That's the difference. If I don't know something, I'll quietly, I have wisdom. Wisdom is a different form of intellect. Sometimes the intellectual mind just blurts everything out, right? But a wise mind knows when to hold them, when to fold them, when to speak, when not to, right? So I'm more about wisdom, because that's actually triumphant over intellect, but it's actually supreme intellect at the same time. Open your mind, your third eye. Don't be third eye blind and calcified in the pineal gland, right? Learn to keep your penis in your pants, fellas. Just pick and choose. You know what I'm saying? Who's who? What type of females are appropriate spiritually for you to, take those steps with. Don't be tricked out of your spiritual positions, because I'm telling you, random like playerism. You know what I'm saying? Like we used to do back in the day. All of that would drain your soul. Like I said, the only upside to it is of course, the topical surface level acts themselves. You know what I'm saying? Of being with the illusion of a fine ass thick chick or this, and I like thick chicks, right? Of course, like what most of us do. Me personally, I like curvy Latinas. That's my weakness, if you want to call it that, right? La vida loca, right? So anyway, we all got our types, but here's the catch. So when you get past the surface topical level of it, when you get into the esoteric and the etheric energy swapping level of it, well, you can't avoid it. Let me tell y'all something. Don't let society fool you. Society will lie to you and tell you, women do this, they lie about this all the time and tell you that they can have sexual relations with no emotional ties. Why do you think prostitutes are so insane and psychotic? You ever met a real prostitute? They're insane and psychotic typically, almost all the time. It's because there's no way that a woman can have sexual relations with no emotional tie, ever. It's not possible, no matter what. Even those that get paid for it, they can't. Because there's still going to be a spiritual excrement, no pun intended, that's left and imprinted on them, each man they deal with. God made it like that. He made it to where a woman, her mitochondrial DNA changes every man she sleeps with. And why did he do that? To reinforce that a woman should not be a Jezebel, or a woman should not be a harlot or a harpy, okay? That's why God made it like that. They're not supposed. That's why if you ever met a P-star, let's just say popcorn star. There's Ronnie, I come with that Ronnieism. But if you ever met a popcorn star, okay, oh man, you know what I'm talking about when I say a P-star, popcorn star. They are crazy as hell. I've met some in real life years ago, way back in Vegas. They're crazy, okay? They're crazy, bro. They're crazy. If you think about some of the things they do on camera and off, they're crazy.